As you may know, yesterday, March 28, 2025, a huge 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck Myanmar, and it was felt entirely across Thailand. Now, it was probably one of the most scariest, most uncertain days here in Thailand. So in this video, I'm just gonna give you a breakdown of the timeline of events. I'm gonna showcase you stories that I've interviewed from countless people. This is gonna be a very sobering video, but yeah, I guess we'll start off with what we experienced and kind of how we felt. So yesterday we went to the gym at around 11 a.m. in Ekamai, and I was riding my motorbike there. And the moment we got off the motorbike, we were just so dizzy.
Yeah. You feel dizzy, and then I think I fall down. I asked you do you feel like me?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
You say, yeah, I feel like you.
And it lasted for a while.
We don't think it's half earthquake. We just walked to the gym, and then I saw one guy. He said the building is shaking. That moment, I feel like, baby, let's go out.
Yeah, we just saw a bunch of people running, and then you're like, baby, let's go. And I was like, for me, I'm like, what? Tell me what? And then you're just like, no, just run. It didn't occur to me anything at all. And then we went down 3 flights of stairs, I think. And yeah, we saw all the people at the gym outside, but not only the gym, we saw all their stores and restaurants and everybody outside. So I was like, okay, clearly this is not just us, this is not just our building, right? And then right across from us, we saw another condo building where we were all looking at it, and a lot of people were pointing and looking at it. And we saw these chipping off, these panels, the cracks, and yeah, and then so it had occurred to us, this is an earthquake, right? And the only thing I was thinking was man, this thing could fall, this building could fall down.
Yeah, and around us have just all building, very dangerous to stay around there.
Yeah, so that's in terms of how we felt. But the stories and the interviews that I've conducted today, and I've seen countless Instagram stories of my friends, of them just running down their condo, of their rooms just cracked, and it's impacted a lot of people here. So fortunately for us, our condo is a low-rise building, so none of our space has gotten affected, and we were not in a risky area. We were just on the 3rd floor of a gym, so we didn't feel it too much. Yeah, as you can see in this interview that we'll have today, I've interviewed countless people, so go ahead and listen to some of their stories. I'm here at Emporia Mall. I just bumped into Mike, my good friend. What was your kind of situation like?
Well, I was actually in Tonglo at the time. I was having some lunch with my friend. I thought I was having a panic attack when it happened. There was these Thai girls making a run for it. And that's when I knew it was really messed up. It was a moment where I thought I was gonna die. So when I saw them run, I'm like, okay, I need to make a leap out of the Commons Tonglo.
Well, what did you think it might
I thought the building was gonna collapse because the Commons is quite an old building.
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah, it was gonna collapse. So I was just trying to make a run for it. I was literally sprinting. I left everything there. I was like, no, screw the laptop.
You were just filled with adrenaline. You were just survival instincts.
I just wanted to live.
Yeah.
That's all I was thinking about. I didn't care about anything else. I just want to get out of this this complex.
Got my good friend Adrian here. Just walk us where you were yesterday and kind of what happens.
So I moved into my apartment last Monday, right? So I hadn't even been there a week, and I was in my apartment. I was working, and then all of a sudden I felt it shake. I thought for a second, oh, I've been working too long. Maybe I'm dizzy or something. But then when it happened again, I got up and my whole apartment was swaying. I think my building is having an earthquake, moving a lot. Holy shit! Everything was shaking, things were cracking, wow. Some of the paint was falling off, and I immediately started freaking out. So I grabbed everything I could, phone and my laptop and passport and everything, and I took the stairs down. And I saw there was also a pool. The pool started flowing out.
Wow.
My thought process was just I need to get out. I need to make my way to the floor. That was all I was thinking. When I was walking out into the hallway, there were painted chips all over and there were cracks everywhere.
When did you arrive to Thailand?
I arrived on the 25th of February.
Wow, that's a very, very unique welcome to Thailand kind of experience.
Yeah, dude. Not even been here 1 month and get an earthquake, right?
Yeah.
My name's Dennis.
Dennis. So, yeah, could you just tell us briefly what happened yesterday?
So I was in my hotel complex, and I guess the bed started moving, which I thought was weird. So I stood up, and I think your mind races, and you're just trying to find signs of what it's an earthquake. I was constantly trying is it me? It was until I looked outside and saw the pool was half out of the
Yeah,
pool.
yeah.
And it's just when I thought, the panic set in, and I heard screams, and running outside with no t-shirt on was scary, and fleeing down the stairs with families with small children was quite scary, because I think every second you have could mean the last one. I think that's what was going through everybody's head, and everyone just wanted to be outside. That's when I saw panicking, people really fearing for their lives, which is really quite traumatic actually. This would normally, get people to run back to where they come from, but I don't think this will change my outlook. Well, not enough anyway, but I can see the Thai people, the resilience, they're starting the clean-up process, and I really believe they're going to spring back. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so too. Like, we're here at the Emporium Mall. Every shop is open. It literally looks like nothing
It
happens.
goes back to normal, yeah. And, it was, everyone's just trying to see how everyone's reacting, because I'm looking around like, if everyone is panicking, then maybe I should panic, but everyone seems to be just getting along, and my heart goes out to people who really have been affected seriously. I've seen some, people not being able, sleeping in the lobbies and having to move out of the city just because they can't find a place to feel safe.
Wow, that's unfortunate. Yeah.
I speak for many people that I'm not sure anyone got a good night's rest, because there was a fear of
We're just worried
it
it
happening
might collapse or like another one.
when you're sleeping.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And if the infrastructure is already weakened, it could potentially collapse.
All right. So what's your name?
My name is Joe from
Joe.
Australia.
Okay, nice. How long have you been in Thailand?
About 3 weeks now, 3.5 weeks.
3 weeks. Wow.
Yeah.
So this has definitely been an experience, right?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Just new to here, and I've heard that this never happens at all.
Yeah. So just walk us through what happened yesterday. Like, where were you at? What were you doing?
So at the time exactly, I was actually on the 6th floor of my condominium. I was just doing some work with my friend. We were just working. And I felt a little bit of a tremor. I didn't know exactly what it was, because obviously I've never experienced it before. But then I had someone sitting directly across from me, and then he looks up at me, and I look back at him, and then I see him just close up his laptop and just sprint straight out of the room. So I'm like, okay, something's going on, I'm gonna get out of here. I was going to take the stairs at first, but then my friend was saying, no, come over to the pool. And like all the water out of the pool was just flowing outside. Yeah. And then only after we were chilling there for maybe a few minutes, we decided to run back down this fire escape.
So at that time, when the water was like shifting, you were probably thinking, okay, this is an earthquake, or what were you thinking? Like,
Yeah, I was thinking it was an earthquake. Like
Yeah.
at that point, I definitely knew something was wrong, because as we were running out of the co-working space, like just the walls starting to crack on the sides.
wow,
So
like
it
just
was-
in real time, it was just
Yeah.
like chip, crack.
I
Like,
think that's why we didn't go down the stairway at first, because we didn't really know, is the ceiling going to start collapsing, or like what's going to happen.
yeah. So what were you thinking at that time? Like, were you just feeling adrenaline? Were you feeling fear? Like, were you thinking like about your survival? Like,
Yeah, pretty much, man. Adrenaline, like my survival, it was all coming into my head, like what's going to happen next. I noticed in the other condo, like across the road, they have a rooftop pool, like on the very high floor. You can just see all the water is just
wow,
like flowing down onto the street.
that's probably so surreal, right? Seeing
Yeah,
that.
it's crazy.
My name is Fahid.
So what happened yesterday?
Yesterday I was home just looking at the market. I'm a trader, and all of a sudden I felt like I'm getting dizzy. Everything started shaking. So I thought I was, hallucinating or something. Then I started hearing screams from my corridor, and then my neighbor and I, we looked at each other and we realized it's an earthquake. So we took the stairs, we went down, and we saw everyone, some people without clothes, just rushed down, and it was just pure state of chaos. And just thinking about it, it reminds me, I feel my heartbeat accelerating. Like, it was so intense. Couldn't sleep last night. Very intense experience. I have experienced earthquake before, but this was the closest I felt to death. This was intense.
You felt like close to death. You
Yes,
said?
yes.
Really?
Yes, yes. It was very intense. Like the whole water bottle was shaking in my house. Like just thinking about it gives me the chills.
Once you looked at your neighbor and realized this was an earthquake, you just quickly made a run for it? Like, did you grab your things or?
Nothing, just literally my phone. Then I realized that nothing matters, just yourself.
Everybody was panicking, or what was
It was pure chaos. I have some videos from that. It was pure chaos. Everyone, even the condo staff, everyone was panicking. No one knew how to deal with this.
Yeah.
It makes you realize, after going through yesterday's experience, it makes you realize that life is very fragile. It can be over in an instant. Don't take any day for granted. Every day is a blessing, and that's all.
So I'm with Travis. You guys might know him. He's a fellow content creator. So I'm just gonna ask him like how it's been. So yeah, man, walk us through yesterday. Like what happened? Where were you?
Yeah, so I was at home as usual. But yeah, I was doing my work, sitting on my workstation. Up in my condo here, we're quite high up on the 40th floor. So I just noticed a bit of swiveling on the chair. I didn't really suspect much because I've got a swivel chair and I like to lean back and forth. It's the same chair. Do you have the exact same one? And I started to feel nauseous. I was thinking like, God, like, have I got vertigo or something? And yeah, then I heard banging upstairs. It was very strange. I didn't really think anything of it until I stood up, and then the balcony door slid wide open, and that's when I ran out to the balcony, and I could see, look down at the swimming pool, and it was just sloshing back and forth, like a basin full of water, someone rocking it like that. And I
Yeah.
looked out at all the other rooftop pools, and I could see the same happening. I was like, "Shit, this is an earthquake." I ran out of the house in my bare feet,
I see.
no shoes. Yeah.
So how were you feeling at the time? Like, were you like panicking? Were you like full of adrenaline? Like, just grab your phone and literally sprinting, or like,
Yeah, it was genuine not fight or flight, but a genuinely kind of run for your life feeling. I've never experienced that kind of intense fear, think on the spot kind of experience in my life where everything you do has to happen in a split decision. I've never experienced that before, so
yeah,
it was real fear. When I looked outside, there's a big drop down from my balcony here. And as I was on the balcony, I was leaning over that drop more. So the building was physically swaying back and
yeah.
forth. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like this balcony could fall off. I'm just gonna run out the door. The phone was already in my hand. Ran out the door with nothing.
So as you can see, everybody just returning back to work. Very normal day, it seems. So here we are at 195. This is a very popular condo. And structurally from the outside, I don't really see any, not... All right, let's give it a little tour. All right, so here we are. Not that bad. Oh, the door is open. Did you leave it open?
No, the mirror broke.
The mirror broke? Holy shit. Oh yeah, you do have this huge crack there right here.
Oh.
Wait, yeah, so what happened yesterday?
Bro, the whole building was swaying. Stuff was crashing down. I had to run through the emergency exit, run down 38 floors,
Wow.
and I finally got my luggage.
Man.
I'm going to Phuket.
Wait, so like you were just running down the emergency stairs and was it like cracking as you were running down or like
Yeah, I
what
was
it
like going down and I see cracks on the walls like
Wow.
as I'm running down, the whole building swaying.
You thought it was about to like fall or what did you think at the time?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought the whole thing was about to fall, so that's why I just got my shit and just ran out as fast as I could.
So your plan now is to go to like Phuket and just kind of see how it goes like
Yeah, Phuket or maybe somewhere nearby to chill a little bit. But yeah, I feel like most of Bangkok's buildings have just like cracks in them.
yeah, you're not too sure about it, right?
Yeah, I don't trust it. I don't want to run out the building again.
I feel you. All right, so we are here at another condo. This is Ideal Ramen 9. And as you can see structurally from this side, it looks pretty good. So I'm here outside of the condo and yesterday I saw some pictures like this was filled with debris. As you can see, we have some damages right here. And if this were to fall on you, by the way, like you would be done for. Like, wow. Wow, that is crazy. So as of right now, March 29, we've had 10 people that were reported dead and 16 people reported injured, as well as over 100 people who are reported missing in the collapse of a high-rise building under construction. And of course, in Myanmar, the effects are a lot more devastating. Over 1,000 people have died there. Fortunately for most people in Bangkok and Thailand, I think the effects were quite minimal, relatively speaking to what could have happened. But that's the state of Thailand right now. Everything has returned back to normal. I think Thai people are very robust, getting back to business, just going with their daily routines, and everything is open. Everything has kind of returned back to normal, and it's almost as if nothing has even happened. It's crazy. Like yesterday, the mood and the feeling was so uncertain. But as of right now, it's kind of back to normal. It's almost as if it hasn't happened. So that's the state of Thailand right now. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I'm doing okay. Hope you guys are doing okay as well. So if you want to stay up to date with me, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next video.